Hello, friends. On a Monday night, here we are. Ready or not. Long week. Last week, another week ahead is going to be long, and a lot of driving and a lot of gigs. It comes in spurts. I have too much work, and then I have too little work. Anyway, story of my life. Not to complain. It was so good to see a lot of good friends over the week. This past week down in Florida. And thank you for being with us tonight. Click share there if you're on Facebook so that your friends and your friends list might want to see some music on a Monday night. Don't cost nothing. And be sure to click subscribe if you're on YouTube. We are live on YouTube and live on Facebook. And we're going to get this thing kicked off with this song. We had a songwriter night last Thursday in Charleston. I remember this old song I wrote with Bobby Tobin, and I sang it last Thursday. Love like a garden needs time to grow, day by day, row by row. Patience and labor is what you need to make your garden of love succeed. You work all day into the night, work it again till we get it right. It ain't easy, it never was. Love is a labor of love. Love is a labor of love. Love like a song needs harmony. I sing with you and you sing with me. And if we sing it strong enough, what we feel turns into love. Work all day into the night, sing it again until we get it right. It ain't easy, it never was. Love is a labor of love. Love is a labor of love. Love like a child needs tender care. You can't tend it if you ain't there. But if your love is faithful and true, the love you give will come back to you. Work all day into the night, work it again till we get it right. It ain't easy, it never was. Love is a labor of love. Love is a labor of love. Love is a labor of love. All right, guys, thanks for being with us. How we doing over there, Mom?
Good.
Doing okay?
Yeah.
I will make it a short program tonight. I am bushed and just need to do something besides pick the guitar a little bit. Anyway, delighted to have you with us, guys. Thanks for coming in. Cheers.
Did you meet someone in Savannah years ago with the last name Hicks? Hix.
Perhaps, yeah.
Hicks. He wants to know if you know any Mary something from Laveau from Bobby Bear, Bare. Bobby Bear music. You know anything from Bobby Bear?
Bobby Bear did all kinds of music. He's country and western. What was a Mary what?
I don't know. It's got a emoji over top of the first name, and I can't see
Gotcha.
it. I can't read it. It's on. He's on YouTube or she's on YouTube.
Yeah. Uh,
Marie Laveau.
oh, Marie Laveau.
Right.
I know the song Marie Laveau. It's yeah, Bobby Bear did it, and you know who wrote it is and I did it a week or two ago here. Maybe last week. I can't remember.
Yeah, they said they met you 15 years ago in Savannah.
Savannah, Georgia. I just passed through there today. Well, near there. There's a new, Kevin Barry's is long gone, but there's a new Irish pub supposedly opening this summer, and I haven't been to look at it yet. But anyway, Marie Laveau is a song that was written by Shel Silverstein, a famous songwriter who also wrote Boy Named Sue and also wrote On the Cover of the Rolling Stone. He also wrote children's books and all of that. Very well known to as a writer. Shel Silverstein wrote this song about it's a true legend about a witch down in Louisiana. Down in Louisiana where the black trees grow, there lived a voodoo lady named Marie LaVeaux. She got a black cat tooth, a mojo bone. Anybody wouldn't just leave her alone. She goes, whoa, another man done gone. She lived in the swamp in a hollow log with a one-eyed snake and a three-legged dog, a bench-scrawny body, stringy hair. If she ever saw y'all messing around there, she'd go, woo-hoo, another man done gone. Then one night when the moon was black, down to the swamp came a handsome Jack, a no-good man like who all know, looking around for Marie LaVeaux. He said, Marie LaVeaux, you lovely witch, give me a little charm that'll make me rich. Make $1 million and I'll tell you what I'll do. This very night I'm gonna marry you. She said, oh Lord, another man done gone. So Marie done some magic. She shook a little sand. She made $1 million. She put it in his hand. She giggled and she wiggled and she said, hey, hey. He said, I'm a-getting ready for my wedding day. Oh, handsome Jack, he said, goodbye, Marie. You too damn ugly for a rich man like me. Marie started mumbling. Her fangs started gnashing. Her body started trembling and her eyes started flashing. She went, woo-hoo, another man done gone. So if you ever get down where the black trees grow and meet a voodoo lady named Marie LaVeaux, if she ever asks you to make her your wife, man, you better stay with her for the rest of your life. Or it'll be woo-hoo, another man done gone, another man done gone. 15 years ago, Savannah, Georgia. Had to be Kevin Barry's pub. The larger question is, what was I doing Marie LaVeaux at Kevin Barry's pub for? Which is the Irish pub. But anyway, don't ask, and I won't say.
They also want you to play Supper Time from your King Edward box album. Maybe you could do that for your
Supper Time. Same requester?
Yeah. The Savannah.
Yep. May as well do it now. We often do a gospel song at the end of the program, as they did at a lot of the old South programs all along the bluegrass and country shows, barn dances, and this and that. At the end, and on Hee Haw, at the end of the night, they take their hat off and sing a gospel song. Anyway. Wonder if I could remember the words of that. I put it on one of my CDs, the King Edward box CDs. But I was just a boy in days of childhood. I used to play till evening shadows fall. Then winding down no familiar pathway. At the end of the day, I hear my mother call. Come home, it's supper time. The shadows lengthen fast. Come home, it's supper time. We're going home at last. Visions now, I see her standing yonder, and her familiar voice I hear once more. Banquet tables ready up in heaven, It's supper time upon the golden shore. Come home, it's supper time. The shadows lengthen fast. Come home, it's supper time. We're going home at last. All right, here's that verse 2 that I couldn't remember. One night by her bedside I was kneeling, and angel wings were winnowing the air. Mama heard the call for supper time and glory, and now I know she's waiting for me there. Come home, it's supper time. The shadows lengthen fast. Come home, it's supper time. We're going home at last. We're going home at last.
His name is David Hicks, the Savannah.
Yes.
David Hicks, do you remember?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he would come out to my gig at, he came out to the, one of the festivals too, I think. Got a request for some John Denver. Oh, why not? And Carolina Moon. Let's do that. And Greg Knott wants to hear that Frogmore Standard Time song. Nothing like a little Clay Rice to get you going. I'll do that, and I have first I'm going to do this. This is a song from Waylon Jennings. You know, last week, Cherry, we had a request for Waylon, and I never did it, and I completely overlooked it. This song was written by Kevin Welch. So I'll do a Waylon song. This is by request from last week. The song is Everybody Gets Crazy Now and Then. Look, here is that you I see. You sure seem down to me. Would you like to tell it to a friend? I can help if anyone can. You know I understand. Everyone gets crazy now and then. I know the empty nights get lonely. Sometimes you feel like you're the only one. You lose more than you win. Yes, these troubled times get scary, but that's just ordinary. Everyone gets crazy now and then. Who can say they never stumbled, never fallen to their knees? Dreams are like castles when they crumble, and I know what you mean. I know how hard it can seem. I get crazy just like you, lost and lonely too, like some old flag left flying in the wind. Time has taught me this for sure. Time is the only cure. All your blues will turn to gold again. Everyone gets crazy now and then. I get crazy just like you, lost and lonely too, like some old flag left flying out in the wind. Time has taught me this for sure. Time is the only cure. All your blues will turn to gold again. Everyone gets crazy now and then. I think it was Tom Jordan wanted to hear that, Shay Reed. I think it was last week, Tom Jordan, and I completely forgot to do it. Even had it out in front of me and forgot to do it last week. All right, a couple of requests here, including Little John Denver. What do you say? This was written by a friend of mine, Dick Feller, Nashville, Tennessee. His wife and daughter lived on the Isle of Palms near where I had the venue there, and he came down and played our venue numerous times. He's made a lot of changes in his life now, and he's no longer in Nashville. He's in Las Vegas, is my understanding. But and divorced from his wife there. But he also wrote Eastbound and Down, Loaded Up and Truckin', Smokey and the Bandit song. He has 7 or 8 #1 songs. Big songwriter in Nashville. And he also was on the road with the comedian out of Georgia. Oh, Lord, now I won't remember his name. From Moreland, Georgia. He's the one that said, if you don't like the South, Delta is ready when you are. Anyway, I'll think of his name in a minute. I wanted to call him Garrison Keeler, but that wasn't him. Anyway. So I'm going to do a John Denver song written by my buddy Dick Feller. When you ask how I've been here without you, I like to say I've been fine, and I do. But we both know the truth is hard to come by. And if I told the truth, it's not quite true. Some days are diamonds, some days are stone. Sometimes the hard times won't leave me alone. Some days a cold wind blows a chill in my bones. Some days are diamonds, some days are stone. Now the face that I see in my mirror more and more is a stranger to me. More and more I can see there's a danger of becoming what I said I'd never be. Some days are diamonds, some days are stone. Sometimes the hard times won't leave me alone. Some days a cold wind blows a chill in my bones. Some days are diamonds, some days are stone. Some days are diamonds, some days are stone. John Denver. Boy, my voice is all crapped out, isn't it? It's just, yeah, it was fine last night because I played a lot. I worked hard the last few weeks, the last few nights. One more John Denver song. This old guitar taught me to sing a love song, taught me how to laugh and how to cry. It introduced me to good friends of mine, brightened up some days, and helped me make it through some lonely nights. What a friend to have on a cold and lonely night. This old guitar gave me my lovely lady. It opened up her eyes and ears too. It brought us close together, and then it broke her heart. But it opened up a place for us to be. What a lovely place and a lovely space to be. This old guitar gave me my life, my living, all the things I still love to do. To serenade the stars that shine on a moonlit mountainside, and most of all to sing my songs for you. I still love to sing these old songs for you. This old guitar taught me to sing a love song. John Denver song. He had an old archtop Gibson, I think, that he wrote that song about. As he told the story a time or two on stage, I am told, I am told. What you got over there, Mom?
On the one that I sent you that says Carroll and the Moon.
Yep.
That was requested by Cheryl Snodgrass. She's
Yeah.
got some friends who are going to be moving from Alabama to Columbia.
Good.
And she wanted you to sing that song for them since they're moving here.
Good. A little song called Carolina Moon. The original title was Alabama Moon, written at the time by my friend Mike Hooks. And I asked his permission to re-record it. Since he's from North Carolina and I'm from South Carolina, I said, can I make that a Carolina Moon instead of an Alabama Moon? And he said, well, sure, why sure, you know. So thank you, Cheryl, for this request. I reminisce about the girl I miss. I left her home. Now she's all alone. I dream of you beneath the Carolina moon. Stars in the sky accentuate her eyes on soft summer nights, chasing fireflies. I dream of you beneath the Carolina moon. I've been on my own too doggone long, got to share that moon with you. Sweet southern air blowing through her hair, homemade ice cream, front porch rocking chair. I dream of you beneath the Carolina moon. Magnolia night and a gentle willow weeping, one stolen kiss while your dad is sleeping. I dream of you beneath the Carolina moon. I've been on my own too doggone long, got to share that moon with you. Magnolia night and a gentle willow weeping, one stolen kiss while your dad is sleeping. I dream of you beneath Carolina. I see you soon. I dream of you beneath the Carolina. Carolina Moon. Now, Cheryl, you're going to have to tell your friends when they get moved to the central part of South Carolina to let me know, and we'll see if we can't have lunch or something. Get acquainted. And I would say I would invite you out to my gigs, but I don't have any gigs in Columbia. I live here, but that don't mean I get any work here. Jesus couldn't get work in Nazareth. I take what it comes as it comes. You take what you get. Oh, Lord, I'll be making people mad at me now. What you got there?
I got you right there.
Oh, yeah. Here we go. Good. Now, I spent a good bit of time driving in the last few days, and I get earworms, and they won't go away. It goes on and on and on. But I also had all this time to think, and I said, why is a song an earworm? What is it that makes it stick in your brain? And I think just the obvious answer is if it's catchy, has a catchy phrase or something like that, what in Nashville we call a hook. But if the lyric is so simplistic and yet picturesque and sentimental and touching, but the lyric is very simple, then it's easier to grab for your brain to grab and hold on to. And of course, a very attractive melody, and a melody that has nice movement in it and then resolves, especially if it resolves on the hook line and all of that kind of thing that you would say. I'm always thinking about songwriting, even when I'm not writing songs, so get a little bit carried away. But here is and this was not my cup of tea. I don't ever remember why I heard this song, but I've surely heard it a million times. I looked it up. It was done by Bobby Vinton. I knew that. But I said, well, who wrote this song, which is so beautiful and so easily remembered? And there are 6 songwriters on this song. And if Google had it right, which is questionable, they each look like they're from Scandinavia. They all have Scandinavian names. So go figure. 6 songwriters. Roses are red, my love. Violets are blue. Sugar is sweet, my love, but not as sweet as you. A long, long time ago, on graduation day, you handed me your book, and I signed this way. Roses are red, my love. Violets are blue. Sugar is sweet, my love, but not as sweet as you. We dated through high school, but when the big day came, I wrote into your book next to my name. Roses are red, my love. Violets are blue. Sugar is sweet, my love, but not as sweet as you. Then I went far away, and you found someone new. I read your letter, dear, and wrote back to you. Roses are red, my love. Violets are blue. Sugar is sweet, my love. May God bless you. Is that your little girl? She looks a lot like you. Someday some boy will write in her book too. Roses are red, my love. Violets are blue. Sugar is sweet, my love, but not as sweet as you. Of all the songs I thought I would be doing here on Monday night, that was not one of them. But that song had me going for 3 hours today on the Interstate 95 and followed me on to I-26, but driving me up the wall. Great song. Great songwriting. I don't know who wrote it or who translated it. Perhaps one of the writers was a translator. All right, what shall I do? We have to do an Irish tune. Here's a song called The Star of the County Down. Near Banbridge town in the county down one morning last July, down a Borwin Green came a fair Colleen. She smiled as she passed me by. She looked so sweet from her 2 bare feet with the sheen of her nut brown hair. Such a coaxing note, had to pinch myself to be sure I was standing there. Then she bathed the dairy keg all in Dublin town. No maid I seen like sweet Colleen, I bet you in the county down. Bantry Bay of the dairy keg, all the way to Dublin town. And no maid I seen like the sweet Colleen, I bet you in the county down. As she onward sped, sure I shook my head, looked with the feeling rare. I says I to a passerby, who's a maid with the nut brown hair. He smiled at me and he says, I see she's a gem of all Ireland's crown. Rose in my can from the banks of the Bann, star of the county down. Bantry Bay, the dairy keg, all the way to Dublin town. And no maid I seen like the sweet Colleen, I met you in the county down. Bantry Bay and the dairy keg, all the way to Dublin town. No maid I seen like the sweet Colleen, I met you in the county down. The harvest fair, she'll be shielded there in a dress and my Sunday clothes, with my shoes shone bright and my hat cocked right for a smile from my nut brown rose. No pipe I'll smoke, no horse I'll yoke, till my plow with rust turns brown, till my darling bride by my own fireside sits a star of the county down. Bantry Bay, dairy keg, all the way to Dublin town. No maid I seen like the sweet Colleen, I met you in the county down. Bantry Bay of the dairy keg, all the way to Dublin town. No maid I seen like the sweet Colleen, I met in the county down. Start the county down. My friend Marcia is tuned in. I'd like to do a song I wrote for her a long, long time ago. I was in St. Pete Beach, Florida, and I had a down week to stay there every day and played every night at the Harp and Thistle in St. Pete Beach. But like so many, I spent time in that little cottage that we stayed in for that gig, writing songs, because you had the place to yourself and it was quiet. It was right on the beach, and I'm not much of a beach-going guy, but I wrote this song that week. And according to my little note here, it says 2001. That might be true. I met Marcia in Charleston and Mount Pleasant, and the story is true story. She had a wealthy husband and was life of the party, and then there was a big divorce in the whole business, and then she lost her son, and so it was a tough time. But she came through it all, and that's the reason I sang and write this song. I better pull it down there. It's called Marcia's Song. It's on one of the albums. I first met Marcia in Mount Pleasant town, out on the dance floor, all tan and brown, crazy as a June bug, twirling around. And she showed me her bikini line. Well, she and her husband from North Carolina were the life of the party on Shem Creek at the time, dancing and prancing in a drunk conga line. One more song, one more song. Her husband had money from the stock market craze. Out on the powerboat, they spent lazy days. Jimmy Buffett and tequila in the salty sea haze. What time is it? What time is it? It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Let's go have a round. Then we reel in the lines and they put the hammer down to the Folly Beach Marina just to see the sun go down. And it seemed like the good times would never end. Then one night Marcia was crying when she came to the stage. Her husband had left her for someone half her age. Did I know any Bob Seger? Maybe turn the page. No, shame on the moon. She struggled to get back on her feet again. She said, let's go have a drink. Good to see you, my friend. But all her party buddies had made other plans, and I guess I was too busy to. Her life was still spinning out of control. Her son lost his life, left a hole in her soul. The demons rushed in, tried to take hold. Then just when she thought she had come to the end, she went home to her mama in the country. And then, completely by chance, she met a tall inland man. He said, how do, ma'am? He was a man from the country, with salt and pepper hair. He took off his hat and he offered her his chair. Then later on he hugged her like a big old teddy bear. He said, there now, there now. For the next weeks and months, so easy and slow, a feeling down inside Marcia was beginning to grow. She was so afraid to let her feelings show. Then before she could mention it, one evening he said, I wondered if you'd be happy away from the sea. I bet you'd never go for a country man like me. But Marcia was thinking, I bet I would. He said, I'm not much for partying and running around, but I got a few acres just outside of town. And if you ever thought about settling down, well, it was just a thought. Marcia sold up her house on the IOP, took I-26 inland, straight as a bee, to the arms of real love and security. Now we never ever see Marcia in Mount Pleasant no more. She sold up that house, it was in Mount Pleasant, wasn't it? Took all I-26 inland, as straight as a bee, to the arms of real love and security. And if you want to see Marcia, you got to go to North Carolina. For my buddy Marcia. She knew all the people that I knew in the pub scene in Mount Pleasant, and also she knew Lisa Hudson and Bill and Whitney and that bunch, and Merle Zinlet, and up and down the coast. I think everybody knew Marcia. Still do. She's just hard to find now. Wife and I went to see them not long ago. What you got there?
A few more? You got your Sweet Savannah Night.
Yep. I'm going to do these requests, guys, and then I'm going to call it. I'm getting a little lightheaded for some reason. Eric Bogle, wow. I'll do these requests, and I'll do Frogmore Standard Time now for Greg Knott. Speaking of North Carolina, up in Wendell, North Carolina, we sure had a good time up there the other night.
Drew Rush is on.
And Drew is on as well. Good, good, good. Hi, Drew Rush. How are you, sir? Good to see you at that function in North Carolina the other night. Cheers, friends. Cheers. This is a song written by my friend Clay Rice. Clay is one of the best and maybe one of the most popular silhouette artists. You know, the old-fashioned artwork where they look at a child and cut its silhouette and put it in a frame and all of that. Clay's been doing that for years. His grandfather was Carew Rice, and it was Walt Whitman who said that Carew Rice was America's premier silhouette artist. And Clay, of course, has carried the family tradition going and is doing that full time. He drives more than I do, travels more than I do. Clay Rice, also, they have some property down in the Ace Basin, which is down in the river area, the river district between Charleston and Beaufort, South Carolina. Ace Basin is ACE, is Ashpoo, Combahee, and Edisto, the three rivers that run through there. And there's not a lot of high ground, so there's not a lot of population, but a lot of shrimpers and the old days pirates and everybody else. So it was very popular in that part of the world. But it's a good place to get away from the outside world. Let's see if I remember how she goes. Frogmore Standard Time is the name of the song. There's a place down the road by a river of memories I've always gone since I was a child. You can leave all your worries down by the water, watch them drift away with the tide. There's a clock on the wall, been broke for a century. Hands point straight down, 6:30 all day. Wrote across that clock in old faded letters, Frogmore Standard Time. I hope you can stay. Frogmore Standard Time. No phone line, it's paradise found in the kudzu vine. Dive on in, y'all. Living is fine. I gotta set my soul. Frogmore Standard Time. Now the boll weevil train, long since forgotten, used to go by, same time every day, bound for Savannah with Sea Island cotton, 36 miles and 10 worlds away. Frogmore Standard Time, no phone line, it's paradise found in the kudzu vine. Dive on in, y'all, living is fine. I gotta set my soul, Frogmore Standard Time. You can skip a smooth stone across a river of memories, carry me back through old fields of rice. You can take off your clothes, you can run around naked, but remember, there are mosquitoes in paradise. Frogmore Standard Time, no phone line, it's paradise found in the kudzu vine. Dive on in, y'all, living is fine. I gotta set my soul, Frogmore Standard Time. I gotta set my soul, Frogmore Standard Time. I recorded that song on the Coast of Carolina CD, and it was written by my friend Clay Rice, and I played that just now for my buddy Greg Knott. who's an acquaintance of Clay Rice up there Greg does beautiful family photography, just like Clay does the beautiful silhouettes, and so they work to some of the same places. Let's see. Roxanne and Charles Brown have requested something from Eric Bogle. They ain't no happy ones. So I shall do This Irish Song for Cheryl Snodgrass, a song that I wrote just to pick up the pace. And then I will do the Eric Bogle song, which is also considered an Irish song or done in the Irish song book and done by a lot of the Irish artists, even though Eric Bogle was not Irish. But let's see. Let's do Top of the World. My first ever trip to Ireland was 1997 with my friend Harry O'Donoghue. I have Harry and Tracy, his wife, to thank for my being able to go on that trip to Ireland, 1997. And of course, I got hooked, and I went over and over and over again. And a few years later, I started doing my own tours, and we still do. I'm going to Ireland on June the 18th this year. Let me know if you want to go. It's getting tight. It's getting late. We have 23 people going. And I'm going again in September with 16 people. It's a private tour in September for a family group. And I'm looking at maybe doing a tour to Ireland in September, October next year. I know I'll be doing one with the Folk Legacy Trio and the famous folk group, Kingston Trio and Limelight are former members. The Folk Legacy Trio will be doing that tour in October next year, but I might do an Ireland tour previous to that as well. And May of 2026, we're going back to Scotland. So we do that all the time, once or twice a year. I said that to say my very first trip over was with Harry O'Donoghue in 97, and I was so inspired. I wrote a song. I had never been that far north, never been that far east, never had a passport. I was so inspired, I wrote a song called Closer to the Top of the World. And Cheryl was with us on that tour. And all the other hairy heads. Flying out to the Atlantic Ocean, we follow the curve of the earth, over Boston and Nova Scotia, toward the island of my ancestors' birth. Out the window I think I see Greenland, flying high o'er the blue northern cold. Soon we will touch down in Shannon, and I feel closer to the top of the world. We played some shows in Dublin and Drogheda. They greeted us with warmth and good cheer, and we found in the faces of Ireland what we'd already found over here. And we lifted our voices together, every man, woman, boy, and girl. For a moment, suspended together, we were all closer to the top of the world. Top of the world. Reaching for the sound of a higher voice, I hear calling, top of the world. Flying so high I may be floating, I may be free falling, so high my demons can't find me. Free of the people that bind me. If you look for me, you will find me. I'll be closer to the top of the world. Back across the island to Galway, on Erin's warm western shore, in a cottage overlooking the ocean, I found a lyric I'd been looking for. I may never make it to heaven, and I don't know what the future holds, but I'm held with my eyes and enter a prize. I'm in closer to the top of the world. Top of the world. Reaching for the sound of a higher voice, I hear calling, top of the world. Flying so high I may be floating, I may be free falling, so high my demons can't find me. Free of the people that bind me. If you look for me, you will find me. be closer to the top of the world. Top of the world. One of the other requests, and thanks Charles and Roxanne for this request. Eric Bogle. Of course, the two main songs that he's most noted for, especially those of us who do the Irish tunes or play the Irish pubs, is a song called The Band Played Waltzing Matilda, which is about the battle at Gallipoli, where the Australian soldiers were just mowed down as they came out of the trenches. And it's such a heart-rending song. I don't do it. I don't do it. I never did. And the one that I'm going to do is almost as bad or almost as good, depending on how you want to look at it. But Eric Bogle tells the story. He was walking through a large graveyard in coastal France, and he saw a gravestone, Private William McBride, age 19. And he sat there and wrote this song. It's also known as The Green Fields of France, or Willie McBride. How do you do, Private William McBride? Do you mind if I sit here down by your graveside and rest for a while neath the warm summer sun? I've been walking all day and I'm nearly done. But I see by your gravestone you're only 19 when you joined the dead heroes in 1915. Well, I hope you died quick and hope you died clean. Oh, Willie McBride, was it slow and obscene? Did they beat the drums slowly? Did they play the fife lowly? Did the rifles fire o'er you as they lowered you down? Did the bugles sing the last post and chorus? Did the pipes play the flowers of the forest? Did you leave a wife or a sweetheart behind? In some faithful heart is your memory enshrined. And though you died back in 1915, to some faithful soul, are you forever 19? Or are you a stranger without even a name, enclosed forever behind a glass frame, in an old photograph torn, battered, and stained, fading to yellow in a bound leather frame? Did they beat the drums slowly? Did they play the fife lowly? Did the rifles fire o'er you as they lowered you down? Did the bugles sing the last post and chorus? Did the pipes play the flowers of the forest? Well, the sun shines now on these green fields of France. Warm wind blows gently and the red poppies dance. The trenches have vanished under the plow. No gas, no barbed wire, no guns firing now. But here in this graveyard, it is still no man's land, for the countless white crosses in mute witness stand to man's blind indifference to his fellow man, to a whole generation who was butchered and damned. Did they beat the drum slowly? Did they play the fife lowly? Did the rifles fire o'er you as they lowered you down? Did the bugles sing the last post and chorus? Did the pipes play the flowers of the forest? Well, I can't help but wonder. Now, Willie McBride, all ye who lie here, do you know why you died? Did you really believe when they told you the cause? Did you really believe that this war would end wars? For the suffering and the sorrow, the glory and the shame and the killing and the dying was all done in vain. Oh, Willie McBride, it's all happened again and again and again and again and again. Did they beat the drum slowly? Did they play the fife slowly? Did the rifles fire o'er you as they lowered you down? Did the bugles sing the last post and chorus? Did the pipes play the flowers of the forest? Willie McBride, The Green Fields of France, written by Eric Bogle. I gotta cut these songs out, guys. I gotta get out of here. I'm getting wore out. I'll do it for you, Tom. Let's see. Cheers, friends. Cheers. They just keep coming, don't they, Cherry?
I know.
Cheers.
Well, the request line is now closed.
The request line is now closed. The guitar player is wore out.
Yep.
He's wore out. I should say he was whored out. He's been on the road too much, making too much, trying to make money make a living. He's whored out and he's wore out. Let's see. This is a John Prine song. All the snow is turned to water. Christmas Day is come and gone. Broken toys and faded colors are all that's left to linger on. I hate graveyards and old pawn shops, for they always bring me tears. Can't forgive the way they rob me of my childhood souvenirs. Memories that can't be bought, can't be won at carnivals for free. It took me years to get those souvenirs, and I can't believe they slipped away from me. Broken hearts and dirty windows make life difficult to see. That's why last night in St. Augustine and tonight always look the same to me. I hate reading old love letters, for they always bring me tears. I can't forgive the way they rob me of my sweetheart's souvenirs. Memories that can't be bought, can't be won at carnivals for free. It took me years to get those souvenirs, and I can't believe they slipped away from me. All the snow is turned to water. Christmas Day is come and gone. Broken toys and faded colors are all that's left to linger on. I hate graveyards and old pawn shops, for they always bring me tears. Can't forgive the way they rob me of my childhood souvenirs. Can't forgive the way they rob me of my childhood souvenirs. John Prine, one of my all-time favorite songwriters. We lost John Prine, first part of the pandemic. We've lost a lot of them lately. A lot of friends and super fans of ours, super friends. Losing a lot. We're at that age, I guess. Here's a song called The Nickel. This was written by my friend Michael Reno Harrell, and what better time to remind you that Michael himself, great songwriter and great storyteller, will be in Savannah, near Savannah, in Bloomingdale, Georgia, outside of Savannah, at Randy Wood's Pick and Parlor this coming Saturday, May 18. If you're anywhere near Savannah, do yourself a favor. This is a beautiful venue. I've done recordings in that venue before. It's Randy Wood's Guitar Center there. He's a famous luthier to a lot of the big stars in Nashville, which is a guitar builder and a guitar maker. He builds guitars and repairs guitars, and he used to do mine some when I was down that way more. But Randy Woods has a Pick and Parlor music hall there too, and Michael Reno Harrell will be there Saturday night, and I will bring Michael up and we'll do a show together, or I'll open for him in Charleston, Mount Pleasant, Sunday night, May 19. So this week I will be at Tommy Condon's on Tuesday instead of Wednesday. I have a private thing on Wednesday in Columbia. Well, it's actually not a private thing. It's a fundraiser for the arts put on by the mayor and the governor in Columbia, South Carolina, a Wednesday night down on Main Street. A Friday night, I'll be in Anderson, South Carolina at McGee's Scott's Irish Pub. Saturday night, I'm off. Sunday night, I will be back in Charleston, Mount Pleasant, doing that show with Michael Reno Harrell. He wrote the song called The Nickel. He met the lady in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. She said she was from upstate New York, sick of shoveling snow. Said, I don't know where I'm going, but it's going to be south of here. She's not alone. I think other people have been doing that lately. She walked into the Greyhound station, Syracuse, New York, laid $40 on the counter, set her suitcase on the floor, and the man said, can I help you? She said, all I want to know, I got $40. How far south will that much go? And the man said, little lady, look like you're in luck. You can ride to South Carolina for under $40. And he pointed to a poster. Special of the week, $39.95 one way to Myrtle Beach. So she bought herself a ticket. She turned to walk away. She heard the man behind the ticket counter say, ma'am, you forgot your change. This 5 cents belongs to you. She said, when you're as broke as I am, what's a nickel gonna do? He said, this nickel ain't worth nothing for all that it'll buy. With it, you can stand up straight, look folks in the eye. If you never lose this nickel, you never will be broke, and you'll never be a loser if you never do lose hope. She rode across New York, down the Jersey Pike, across Delaware and Virginia, North Carolina. In the night she rode down Highway 17 through Little River and OD, and the sun was coming up when she got to Myrtle Beach. With that nickel in her pocket, suitcase in her hand, she walked down to the pavilion. She looked at the water and the sand and the sunlight on the seagulls, people on the pier and pelicans and porpoises. She just breathed that ocean air, and her past just blew away on that cool Atlantic breeze. For the first time in a long time, she felt at ease. She called her mom collect from a payphone that first day. Her mom said, how you doing, hon? She said, Mom, I'm okay. I ain't got much, but it's enough, and I'll come out ahead. She held on to her nickel, and to herself she said, this nickel ain't worth nothing for all that it'll buy. With it I can stand up straight, look folks in the eye. If I never lose this nickel, I never will be broke, and I'll never be a loser if I never do lose hope. She found a place in Surfside Beach early that first year, waited tables in Murrells Inlet, called bingo on the pier. She made a lot of friends, somehow made the rent. The money came in real hard, but it sure was easy spent. By the first part of September, though, All her friends were gone, but she didn't want to leave. She decided she'd stay on, so she worked part-time through December on a family pantry store, and they laid her off on Christmas Eve. Didn't need her anymore. So she drew her unemployment. $40 a week. While her rent was $100 a month, and still she had to eat. Sometimes it came right down to that nickel laying there, but she'd hold it tight. She'd recite these words like a prayer. This nickel ain't worth nothing for all the little buy. With it I can stand up straight, look folks in the eye. If I never lose this nickel, I never will be broke, and I'll never be a loser if I never lose hope. 24 years later, on a very special day, a bride walked down the aisle, and her dad gave her away. She wore a golden locket her mom had given her, and inside it was a nickel to remind her of these words. This nickel ain't worth nothing for all that it'll buy. With it I can stand up straight, look folks in the eye. If I never lose this nickel, I never will be broke, and I'll never be a loser if I never lose hope. One last song, friends. Thank you very much. I'm going to do my Sweet Savannah Night song. This is by request. Also, Tom Jordan requested this. And I hope he was on. I think he's the one that requested Waylon last week, and we failed to do it. And I think he requested it last week. Might have been him. Pretty sure it was him.
Was it the one you already done?
Yeah, I did the Waylon earlier. Yeah.
He said it was him.
Okay, good. This is a song called Sweet Savannah Nights. My co-writer on this song, Sonny Birch, wonderful lady, friend of mine in Savannah, and we lost her in the middle of the pandemic too. Not due to the pandemic, but we lost her, and then because of the pandemic, we couldn't do a celebration of life or this or that. You know, we didn't do those things for a year and a half, 2 years there. Anyway, she is sadly missed. And we didn't get together and remember her on a day, a specific event, but she's well remembered. And especially every time I sing this song and get a request for it, this is still my most requested song and my biggest selling album, Sweet Savannah Nights. Sonny wrote the poem. Well, she wrote the song. And she handed me the words in 2008. And I said, I don't want to hear your melody, because she wanted me to write the song with her, because I write songs. But so I said, well, give me the words, but I don't want to hear your melody in case I want to find something on my own or change it or do this or do that. And a lot of these words are hers, even though I changed it around a bit. And this melody is mine. So written by my friend Sonny Birch and myself. It's called Sweet Savannah Nights. I'll do this song and call it a night. Thank you, friends, for being with us. I did a gospel song earlier, and we'll pass on this last gospel song so I don't fall off this stool. How long has it been? The years have come and gone, but the world keeps on turning, and I keep holding on. Still see us arm in arm beneath a dancing street light. How we loved our hearts away. Sweet Savannah nights. Supper on the veranda, walking through the park, whispering by the parlor lamp when the world was getting dark. Your kiss on my brow made all the darkness bright. Yes, I remember you, sweet Savannah nights. It only takes a moment to run that memory down. It haunts me like a ghost, cuts like bony crown. And I'm going back to bed now, dream with all my might. I'll be loving you, sweet Savannah nights. Live oaks spread their wings to catch the Spanish moss, but everything has changed now. I guess you just got lost. Oh, but the jasmine's on the breeze. I'm gonna be alright. I'm just missing you, sweet Savannah nights. It only takes a moment to run that memory down. It haunts me like a ghost, and I wear it like a thorny crown. I'm going back to bed now, dream with all my might. I'll be loving you, sweet Savannah nights. I know I still love you, and sweet Savannah nights. Sweet Savannah Nights, written by my friend Sonny Birch and myself. Guys, I'm going to take a break. Once again, I will be in Charleston tomorrow night, Tuesday, instead of Wednesday. I'll be playing a fundraiser for the arts in Columbia for the city of Columbia on Wednesday, downtown on Main Street, Columbia. Friday night, I'll be at McGee's Scots Irish Pub in Anderson, South Carolina. Sunday night, I will be at the Bohemian Bull in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina, opening for Michael Reno Harrell. All right, friends. And I hope to see you next Monday night right here. Thanks.